Hi, my name's AD Roberts, I'm from In War and Peace, and this is Inspirations. This inspirational history is about this M4A3 Easy 8. It was the first tank crew of the US 3rd Army to reach the Rhine River on the 21st of March 1945. Unit 1st Platoon F Company 41st Tank Battalion, US 11th Armoured Division, the Thunderbolt Division. The name Flatfoot Floogie was a 1938 jazz song of that name.
Flatfoot Floogie would fly, fly. Flatfoot Floogie would fly, fly. Flatfoot Floogie would fly, fly. Fly, 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 fly. Flatfoot Floogie fly, fly. Flatfoot Floogie would fly, fly. Flatfoot Floogie would fly, fly. Fly, 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 fly. When you're feeling low down, don't know what to do, and you want to show down, here's the dance, the dance, the dance to do. Flatfoot Floogie would fly, fly. Flatfoot Floogie would fly, fly. Flatfoot Floogie would fly, fly. Fly, 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 fly. Bang, 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 boom, bang, 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 bang.
It is generally conceded that the Thunderbolts travel pretty fast, but nobody ever suspected that a whole armoured division of Thunderbolts could strike as quickly as the 11th Armoured Division did in the winter of 1944-45. The Thunderbolt Division, it shares the nickname with the 83rd Infantry Division, was crossing the English Channel in mid-December when Rundstedt launched his counter-offensive. The Allies were in a desperate need of all the reinforcements they could get, and a brand new armoured division could mean a lot. The 11th Armoured hit the beaches of Normandy one morning and instantly set off on a forced march, skidding into Neuchâtel, Belgium, at midnight the same night. The next day, just 24 hours after hitting European soil for the first time, the Thunderbolts roared into action. They had a very definite mission to get astride the vital Neuchâtel-Bastogne highway and prevent the Germans from gaining control of it. The 11th Armoured jumped off in an attack, and the Germans had to revise any supply plans they had involving the critical highway. Rarely in military history had an armoured division gone into action so quickly from so far behind the lines. Once started, the Thunderbolts kept on rumbling toward the heart of Europe. In January they continued to fight in Belgium, and the next month with the 6th Armoured they took Trois Vierges and Gordange. They spearheaded the Allied drive across the Kyle River, fought through northern Luxembourg and drove on to the Rhine, overrunning Kirchweiler, Dochweiler and Wienweiler. Swerving to the south, the Thunderbolts earned themselves new honours by becoming the first American unit to enter Austria. On their way, they paused long enough west of Kaiserslautern to help capture two German armies, the 1st and the 7th. In March, the Thunderbolts crossed the Rhine, drove towards Nuremberg, and sent 2 columns racing into Bavaria, and finally joining up at Scharm, 28 miles north of Regensburg and 1,200 feet high in the Alps. They captured Linz on the Danube, and on VE Day they were assembled at Friedenthal. A few weeks later, while on occupation duty near Oberdanau, the upper Danube, the Thunderbolts started reckoning up their combat achievements. In only a few months of action, they had discovered the 11th Armoured had taken a total of 76,229 prisoners, an average of 600 a day, and twice as many as were taken by the entire American army during the last war, the war to end all wars. The Second World War depended on technology like no other conflict in history. It changed the nature of battle forever, making mechanised forces the backbone of around which any army is built. The United States alone constructed over 3 million military vehicles during the war. By 1945, there was one vehicle for every 4 soldiers. The main striking force of an armoured unit was its tanks. These tracked behemoths was designed to be the ultimate armed weapon, king of the modern battlefield. The crews were manned and came from every corner of America. To many, they were the armoured cavalry or tank men. They referred to themselves simply as tankers. Being a tanker meant adapting to harsh battlefield conditions and a series of imperfect machines. In America, tank development after the First World War was severely hindered due to the shrinking military budget. After the German Blitzkrieg in France in 1940, during which tanks were extensively used with devastating results, the US redoubled its efforts to develop a new family of tanks to counter the impressive German vehicles. The backbone of the US mechanised forces was the medium tanks. Larger and more heavily armoured than the light tanks, medium tanks were meant to bear the brunt of armoured combat, either in support of infantry units or operating in independent military formations. The main US medium tank to see combat in World War II was the M4 Sherman. Between 1942 and 1946, the US factories produced over 49,000 of them. A fully armed Sherman carried 97 rounds of armour, piercing or high explosive, and was protected by over 2.5 inch of frontal armour, a 30 caliber machine gun mounted in the bow for close combat situations. Depending on the model, they had the top speed of 24 or to 30 miles an hour. In the European theatre of World War II, their vehicles were no match for the enemy's tanks. Both Allied tankers and German counterparts coined the term Ronsons for the American Shermans. This was based on the slogan of the famous Canadian cigarette lighter, "Always lights the first time." Throughout the campaign, the late model German Panzer IV with its high velocity 75mm gun and even more powerful Panther and Tiger tanks outclassed most models of the Sherman in firepower. Despite the dangers, the tankers battled on, in the sands of North Africa, to the cold and mud of Europe, the unbearable heat of the Pacific. Thousands of these men fought and died in their own armoured versions of combat. From modelling friend Douglas Cohen and his stunning work on his diorama, "A Few Miles Left, Flatfoot Floogie Fighting in Germany." It's time for me to take a break while you sit back and look at this stunning work from Douglas Cohen. I hope you've enjoyed this as much as I've enjoyed making it and doing the research on flatfoot Floogie. It's very interesting. I'd like to remind all you people in the United Kingdom that we have the amazing Bovington Tank Museum on our doorsteps, and you know, if you've not been, may I say, please take a look down there. It is an experience. And they do have an M4A2 Easy 8 Sherman, commonly known as Fury, so please take a look when you get the chance. And of course, let's not forget about World of Tanks, on which I am on there quite a lot, along with my best two buddies, Uncle Richard and Commander Conrad. I have a Thunderbolt that is just an amazing tank on that particular game. I'm AD Roberts from In War and Peace, and this has been the amazing diorama from modelling friend Douglas Cohen. If you do enjoy these short videos, please press like, press subscribe, and don't forget to tell all your friends. Last but not least, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, stay safe, much magic, and of course, happy modelling.